will not settle for the 3, instead attacking the closeout. Alam mo, itong si Solomon Mercado at si Gabe Norwood, good finishers, and yung leaping ability nila gets them to the basket. At improved free throw shooting has definitely made this combination more lethal sa kanilang offensive artillery.
Now, is this a natural flow of the game? As we were going run and gun, breakneck speed in the first quarter, we're suddenly going into a more controlled kind of game.
Yes.
Is this on purpose?
Yes. I'm sure that both coaches like to execute what they prepared for here offensively, and definitely their defensive strategies will go at each other. At alam mo, if you're rain or shine, you have to look at your last 2 games because you only gave up close to 79 points in your last 2 games. And as a result, nakakuha sila ng 2 sunod na panalo.
You really don't want to go into a shootout against Barangay Ginebra, and Story already with 12 points in this first half, and Rain or Shine is still in the driver's seat nonetheless, ahead by 5.
Story is looking really mean here tonight. All business.
Inside to Lewis, and there's a nudge from the rear.
Well, sometimes you just have to figure it out, how to push him away from the paint. Of course, that is the initial intention of your defense. Even if you're playing zone, keep him away under the basket because it occupies a lot of space. And anytime he gets that ball underneath, he is automatic.
Mamarel will hit the bench after committing his 3rd personal foul. Enrico Villanueva's back on our hardwood. Penetration, and now a little more fouls being committed because the defense also beginning to kick in based on that point when you know you're trying to control the mood of the game as well.
And you're now trying to contain and locate the players who have hurt you in the first quarter. Once again, Rain or Shine not opting for the 3, instead attacking the closeout defense here of the Gin Kings.
On one perspective, a coach will say, don't play defense with your hands, you got to move your feet. But there are some coaches, and I'm not saying it's John Luchigo, who would probably say, ang dami-dami natin player, gamitin natin ang fouls natin.
Fouls if you need to.
In the meantime, we swing it over to Barangay Ginebra's side as we come down to 7:14 in the second. Step back.
That's a smart move for Salino Cruz, recognizing that J.R. Reyes was no match for his quickness. First 2 points in the game here for Salino Cruz.
Backed away by Kagiwa. Will there be a sprint? 2-man game. Cruz. Lefty shot will not work. And Norwood touched this last, or will it be the other way around? And Norwood trying to argue, but that argument didn't last very long.
And it always happens that you turn the ball over, but what's more important is that you try to defend that turnover. In that last sequence, Rain or Shine getting that playback, although possession stays with Ginebra.
Salter Brenn as we enter the game. Penetration does not work. Rain or Shine still with a 3-point lead. Aranya goes all the way.
And that has been the key element here for Elastic Painters. Pushing that ball early, scoring and challenging the transition defense of the Gin Kings. 5-point margin, Elastic Painters.
Aranya with 7 points. Ronnie, the only sub-10-point game he had was against Santa Lucia. In the meantime, a 3-point shot. Story, you're absolutely correct. He's all business here with 15.
Well, they had a lot of time to prepare for this game. And definitely that 1 week break in between games has helped the game preparation of Story.
And you know, you practice more, get to know your teammates
you
more.
work on your execution, you work on your skills, you have a lot of time to watch a lot of tapes and provide the necessary adjustments.
Get to know your coaches as well.
Totoo yan.
That will not work. By the way, Lewis had a shot earlier. It's a collection of 5 points. 5 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. 45-41 is our count. Ryan Aranya zips it over to Chan. Jai Lewis says, let's give it to Gabe. Gabe launches. It will drop. They like this venue. And look at this. This game beginning to shine towards Rain or Shine. Back in a moment. Back with us here for the Phoenix Fuel PBA on tour. Rain or Shine up against Barangay Ginebra. And don't forget that the PBA will be at the Ninoy Aquino Stadium. That's tomorrow. But first things first, let's talk about the BMEG power move. Oh, look at this. That is a BMEG Derby H power move. Brought to you by BMEG Derby H Premium Formula. Dito ko na sa Yamado. Familiar move from Ryan Aranya. And talking about the games tomorrow, As the PBA returns to the Ninoy Aquino Stadium, it will be Santa Lucia and Talking Tex, and a good one in the second game as well. Alaska against San Miguel Beer. This is where we are. Arita sa Victoria City Sports Cag Amusement Center sa Victoria City, Negros Occidental. Cemento po. Upod natin si Ronnie Magsanok and Rain or Shine and Barangay Ginebra. Both teams coming off wins, and here's a low pass downstairs. This is his kind of game.
In double digits here. 8 points in the first quarter, first 2 points here in the second. And more importantly, Ginebra stopping the bleeding, scoring after the timeout, down by 4, under 6 minutes left here in the first half.
In the meantime, ball is loose and totally taken away by Story.
Yes, Ginebra shifted from its 2-3 zone defense. Now was dropped down to a man-to-man defense, forcing that turnover against Rain or Shine.
No chance to send it inside to Story. Now there he is, working from the outside. The long attempt will not bite. Mercado. Mercado has it anew. Nudged. Could be Tubid.
Tubid is one of the better defenders here in the entire league. But Solomon Mercado able to get that first step ahead of Ronald Tubid, and Mercado will go to the free throw line. Mercado leading the way in scoring here for Rain or Shine, already with 16 points as compared to 15 para kay Story ng Ginebra.
Now I sense what you were talking about. You may be able to stay in step, but because of his explosiveness and because of that body weight that crashes forward, it might be easier said than done to be able to keep in step with Sol Mercado.
Alam mo naman na pupunta siya ron eh. Gusto mo naman siyang unahan. Pag naunahan mo siya, kaya kanyang iusog. Ang lakas ng mga balikat ito, and yet he can finish even with the last line defender showing up.
And Mercado taking care of that free throw, presented to you by BMEC Derby Ace Premium Formula. Dito ka na sa Liamado.
17 out of the 48 points of their last two painters contributed here by Solomon Mercado.
And they're still in the lead by 5. That's cut down to 3. As Story continues to write a different chapter here with 17.
Picture of accuracy from the field. Very high shooting clip here for Story.
Really helps a team when you know that your import knows what to do with the ball. This is a short stab, and JR beginning to feel this game. He has 7.
And JL driving the baseline, attracting the defense, dishing off to JR. Jai Lewis outwitting the defense of the Gin Kings along that baseline.
Story attacks with a scoop shot.
Ooh.
This is the Soul Train, and that's going to be counted. Rudy says, if I can't stop him downstairs, let's try it upstairs.
And this is once again tying the biggest lead of Rain or Shine. 7-point advantage of their last two painters. Once again, anchored on the efforts of Solomon Mercado's running game.
19 points.
Wow.
3:30 remaining. That won't go anywhere. Look at this outlet.
Oh!
I think he may have been thinking of getting a foul as well and not going too straight ahead for the basket.
Pero makikita mo rito talaga yung transition defense ng Ginebra ang ina-atake paulit-ulit ng Rain or Shine. Oh! Parang nag-dipsy-doozy here.
And again, I thought Cirque du Soleil was in Macau.
Oh.
But you know that sometimes it's acrobatic, but sometimes it's the only way to go.
If the situation presents itself, then you can take the double pump move of Story. Very busy here. Nice Story so far in the first half. 17 points, 10 of them coming in the first.
And Roy Lopez, our scorer. Ano nasa mo sa Victoria ito si Roy Lopez?
Alam ko kung paano. Nagmotor mula Bacolod City hanggang Victorias. Kumain ng tubo bago dyan pumarada dito sa ating magandang Coliseum.
Bagay, yung ngipin yan. Pakinara tayo.
Pwede.
He just told me that that was the second foul earlier, but we'll get back to fouls and basketball after this. Okay, this is something to look forward to on Sunday, May the 2nd, mostly against Mayweather. Since Mayweather is not interested in facing the Pac-Man.
Not yet.
Well, he is. I'm sure one day he will realize that he'll have to cross paths. But who are you picking with Mosley?